Bought a derelict freighter for pennies. What I found inside shocked. The Galaxy Eli ward had always been lucky in strange ways. Not the kind of luck that earned medals or fame, but the kind that dropped opportunities into your lap when everyone else had given up. Today, that luck came in the form of an old auction listing buried in a forgotten sector of the galaxy. Derelict freighter. Old, abandoned, probably scrap. Sold for pennies. Eli leaned back in his chair aboard his small shuttle, squinting at the flickering holoscreen. Most of the other bidders were big corporations or alien conglomerates, but none seemed interested in this rusted ancient ship. That was just fine with him. Cheap was better. It left room to fix things, and fixing things was exactly what Eli did best. He tapped the buy button before anyone else could think twice. The price flashed on the screen. 3 credits. 3. A cup of synth coffee in most parts of the galaxy cost more than that. Eli laughed quietly. This freighter was probably falling apart, but something deep in his gut told him otherwise. By the time he arrived at the auction site, the freighter was even worse than he expected. Its hull was pitted with corrosion, several panels hung loose, and the docking bay looked like it hadn't been used in decades. Alien bidders glanced at it, wrinkled their strange faces, and moved on to newer ships. Eli, however, felt a thrill of excitement. "This is it," he whispered to himself, stepping onto the docking platform. The airlock hissed, and the door shuddered as he forced it open. Inside, the ship smelled of old metal, burnt circuits, and something else. Something faint, almost like ozone. The corridor was dimly lit by flickering emergency lights. Graffiti from long-gone crews covered the walls. Strange symbols, warnings, even a few alien curses in languages Eli didn't recognize. He walked carefully, boots echoing on the metal floor. The ship creaked under his weight. Every step seemed to whisper secrets of forgotten voyages, of people who had once called this ship home. His first task was obvious: bring the ship online, even a little. Eli crouched in front of the main control panel. Dust puffed into the air as he brushed it away. The console flickered weakly, showing life signs. Barely. He smiled. Old tech like this responded better to hands-on attention than to AI commands. He found the freighter's AI core after an hour of searching. To his surprise, it was still partially functional. A small blue light pulsed slowly on the unit. "Hello?" Eli asked cautiously. "Can you hear me?" The AI's voice was flat, metallic, but with a subtle undertone of sarcasm. "Human detected. Identity irrelevant. Purpose uncertain. Access denied." Eli grinned. "Access granted, baby? Humor detected. Likelihood of successful operation minimal." Eli chuckled. This was going to be interesting. "All right, friend," he said, patting the console. "We're gonna fix you up." "You'll see." The AI remained silent for a moment, then finally said, "Error. Intrusive personality detected. Initial assessment, improbable success. Statement. Do not touch critical systems." "Good thing I don't listen to warnings," Eli muttered. Over the next few hours, he restored partial functionality to the freighter. Lights flickered to life support hummed weakly, and the ship's engines whispered in protest. It was alive, but barely. While exploring, he discovered a strange anomaly. A compartment deep in the cargo hold didn't appear on any registry. Scans couldn't penetrate it, and the AI seemed reluctant to acknowledge it. Eli's curiosity burned. He crouched in front of the sealed door, examining the controls.
"What are you hiding?" he muttered. The AI hesitated before replying.
Compartment unregistered. Contents unknown. Recommendation: do not open. Risk high. Eli smiled broadly. High risk? Perfect. That's exactly what I like. The rest of the day passed in a blur of wires, sparks, and tools. Eli moved through the ship like a detective, cataloging systems and patching leaks. The AI began to respond to his questions with less sarcasm and more observation. It seemed to be testing him, gauging his skill and judgment. "You are unusually persistent," it said. "Thanks," Eli replied, grinning. I've been told that before. As night fell outside the docking bay, Eli settled into a small cabin aboard the freighter. He looked around the room, bare metal walls, a thin cot, a small kitchenette that barely worked. It wasn't much, but it was his now. He felt a strange pride. This was more than a ship. It was a challenge, and he loved challenges. Sleep didn't come easy. His mind kept wandering back to the sealed compartment. Whatever was inside was important. Important enough that someone had hidden it and erased its records. He imagined what it could be. Advanced technology, priceless cargo, maybe even data that could change the galaxy. The possibilities made his heart race. The next morning, Eli was back at the console. The AI's blue light pulsed steadily now, almost like a heartbeat. "You are ready to proceed," it said. "I've been ready," Eli said. "Let's see what secrets you're hiding." The AI gave a mechanical sigh. Warning: procedure may trigger defensive measures. Probability of survival, 72%. "Better than most odds I get," Eli muttered, starting the unlocking sequence. Sparks flew as he bypassed ancient security protocols, his hands moving with precision and confidence. Each panel he opened revealed more of the ship's forgotten history. Sealed crates, old equipment, and messages from crews long gone. Then, finally, the last seal disengaged. The compartment hissed open, revealing a faint glow. Eli froze, blinking at the light. It wasn't fire, and it wasn't electricity. It pulsed like a heartbeat, like something alive, yet clearly mechanical. He took a cautious step forward. The AI's voice was sharp now. "Caution. Contents unknown. Potential threat extreme. Recommendation: leave immediately." Ellie shook his head, excitement coursing through him.
No!
"Not today. I've come this far. I'm seeing this through." As he stepped into the compartment, the glow enveloped him. The air vibrated with energy. Panels along the walls flickered with unfamiliar symbols, patterns that shifted as if they were alive. Eli reached out a hand and felt the hum under his fingers. It was warm, almost welcoming, yet filled with power beyond his understanding. What are you?" he whispered. The AI's voice softened, almost reluctant. "Unknown entity, classified, historical significance, unparalleled, human interaction, untested. Recommendation: proceed with caution." Eli laughed softly. Caution is boring. He moved deeper into the compartment, and the glow brightened, revealing small containers filled with strange crystalline structures. Each one pulsed gently, resonating with energy. Data logs floated as holograms above them. Ancient star charts, schematics of advanced propulsion, and blueprints for technology Eli had never imagined. His mind raced. This wasn't just cargo. It wasn't just a freighter. This was a treasure trove of forgotten knowledge. Whoever had abandoned this ship had left behind a key to the galaxy's secrets. Eli's pulse quickened. "The galaxy isn't ready for this," he muttered, but his grin widened. "Well, too bad. Looks like it's mine now." The AI remained silent, as if finally admitting defeat. Or maybe it was acknowledging the human in front of it. Clever, daring, and unafraid. As he looked around, Eli knew this was only the beginning. The freighter had been forgotten, abandoned, and dismissed. But he had found it, and whatever was inside, whatever power it held, would change everything. For now, he packed the containers carefully, making sure nothing was damaged. The freighter hummed around him, alive with its secrets, and for the first time in years, Eli felt truly at home. Outside in the silent darkness of space, a few curious sensors blinked on distant ships, picking up the energy signature. Somewhere, the galaxy was taking notice. But Eli didn't care. He had won this first step, and he would make the most of it. Because sometimes being human wasn't about strength, or size, or advanced tech. Sometimes it was about curiosity, courage, and refusing to give up. And Eli Ward had all of that in abundance. The freighter was no longer a forgotten relic. It was a living puzzle. And Eli was ready to unlock its secrets. Eli Ward floated in the freighter's cargo hold, the strange crystalline containers glowing faintly under the soft light of the ship. He had spent hours studying the holographic schematics and star charts that hovered above each container. Every line, every symbol, spoke of knowledge long lost to the galaxy, technology that could change everything if used wisely. Yet, despite the excitement, Eli felt a twinge of unease. He had unlocked the freighter's hidden compartment, yes, but something in the ship seemed alive, watching him. He turned to the AI core. "You're quiet," he said. "Thought you'd say something after I open this place." The AI's blue light pulsed slowly. Observation: human behavior is unpredictable. Assessment: continued access to cargo may compromise safety protocols. Ellie chuckled. "Safety protocols, huh? Seems to me the only real danger is me losing my nerve, and I'm not planning to do that." For the next few hours he worked carefully, scanning the crystals and cross-referencing the data logs. Each crystal seemed to contain raw energy, but more importantly they stored information, technological blueprints, navigation histories, even experimental designs for propulsion systems faster than anything currently known. Eli's eyes widened. If this technology were real, humanity could finally explore beyond the edges of the galaxy without waiting decades. "Looks like someone really didn't want this falling into the wrong hands," Eli muttered. "But I wonder, why hide it? Why abandon it?" The AI hummed thoughtfully. Historical record. Freighter originally designed as a research vessel. Event unknown. Vessel abandoned. Likely cause: catastrophic incident. Human exposure unrecorded. Eli frowned. Catastrophic incident. That sounds dangerous. "Probability of threat moderate to extreme," the AI said flatly. "Moderate to extreme is a big range," Eli said. "I deal with extremes every day." Despite the risk, Eli continued exploring. He discovered small compartments filled with logs, old tools, and personal messages from the scientist who had once called this freighter home. One holographic message caught his attention: a star map marked with strange energy signatures and coordinates in uncharted space. "This," Eli whispered, "this is why someone abandoned the ship. They discovered something big, and they didn't want anyone else to get it." The AI spoke then, its voice unusually soft. "Warning: external entities detecting energy fluctuations. Probability of discovery increasing." Eli's heart skipped a beat. "External entities? Like who?" "Unknown," the AI replied. "Scans indicate multiple signature types. Alien and human. Intent potentially hostile." Eli stared at the glowing crystals. "So, the galaxy might already be watching us. Well, good thing I'm not scared of a little attention." As he spoke, the freighter shuddered slightly. Sensors outside flickered, indicating movement nearby. Eli floated to a viewport and saw tiny scout drones approaching. Alien drones, small but precise, scanning the ship. Someone had noticed the freighter's energy signature, the same energy that had drawn Eli's attention. "Looks like visitors," he muttered. He floated back to the AI core. "Can you give me a full scan of the nearby sector?" "Complete," the AI said. "Multiple vessels approaching, likely scavengers or opportunistic factions. Recommended action: conceal energy emissions or prepare defensive measures." Eli grinned. "Well, you know me. I like a challenge." He floated to the engineering bay where old consoles and broken systems awaited repair. Within a few hours he managed to patch the engines, reroute energy flow, and make the freighter more responsive. The AI assisted reluctantly, providing guidance on systems that were still operational. Slowly the freighter came to life. It was still old, still fragile in places, but now it could move, dodge, even shield itself if necessary. By midday, Eli had finished his initial modifications. The freighter hummed under his hands, alive in a way it hadn't been for decades. He turned to the AI. "Not bad, huh?" he said. Observation. Human ingenuity is impressive. Assessment. Survival probability increased by 20%. "Only 20%?" Eli laughed. "Guess I'll have to do better." With the freighter partially operational, Eli returned to the cargo hold. He carefully examined the glowing crystals again, running scans to understand their energy output. Each one seemed to contain a mix of raw power and encoded data. One container pulsed brighter than the rest. Eli approached it slowly. "All right," he said quietly. "What are you hiding?" The AI hesitated. "Warning, container exhibits anomalous energy signatures. Human exposure untested. Potential effect unknown. Proceed with caution." Eli reached out and touched the crystal. Instantly, a wave of energy passed through his fingertips. He felt the tingling warmth, like electricity, but not dangerous. He stared in wonder as a holographic projection emerged from the crystal, displaying complex schematics for an energy propulsion system unlike anything in human history. "This is bad." "Incredible," Eli whispered. His mind raced, imagining what humanity could do with this knowledge. Faster travel, better energy systems, even new methods of defense. The possibilities were endless. Suddenly, a loud ping echoed through the ship. Eli froze. The sensors outside indicated multiple vessels closing in, larger ships this time. They weren't just curious drones. They were here for the freighter. "Looks like we've got company," Eli muttered. "And I don't think they're coming to ask for directions." The AI's voice was sharp. "Recommended action: conceal energy emissions. Strategy: evasive maneuvers." Eli nodded, already moving toward the controls. He rerouted energy to the shields, activated hidden thrusters, and prepared for the freighter's first test in years. The ship shuddered as its engines roared to life, and Eli felt the thrill of movement coursing through him. The approaching vessels hesitated, scanning the freighter's readings. Eli took a deep breath. Time to make a human first impression. He tapped a few controls, and the freighter surged forward, accelerating beyond what the alien ships expected. They tried to intercept, but Eli anticipated their movements, dodging through asteroid fields and using the freighter's limited agility to his advantage. "Not bad for a rusty old hunk of metal," he said, smiling. The AI pulsed beside him, almost as if acknowledging his skills. After a tense chase, Eli managed to escape immediate danger, but he knew it wouldn't be long before someone or something returned. The freighter's energy signature, the mysterious crystals, and his own presence would attract attention. He floated back to the cargo hold, catching his breath. The holographic projections danced around him, filled with information and potential. Eli's grin returned.
"They'll be back," he said, "and next time, they'll be serious."
"But you know what? I'm ready." The AI spoke, almost thoughtfully. Human, untested in extended confrontation. Suggest. Caution. Observation. Determination exceeds expectations. Eli laughed softly. Determination beats fear every time. He spent the rest of the day organizing the cargo, taking notes and scanning the data. Each new discovery added more pieces to the puzzle: coordinates to uncharted regions, designs for energy systems, and clues about the freighter's original mission. Someone or some group had hidden incredible secrets here, and now Eli had found them. Night fell again, and the freighter hummed quietly in the darkness of space. Eli floated to the cabin, staring out at distant stars. The galaxy was bigger, stranger, and more dangerous than most humans imagined. Yet for the first time in years, he felt ready to meet it. He looked at the glowing crystals one last time before resting. "Tomorrow," he said softly, "we start unlocking your full secrets. And maybe, just maybe, we'll show the galaxy what humans can really do."
Outside the freighter, small signals blinked in distant sectors.
Scouts, spies, and opportunists were taking note. The freighter was no longer a forgotten relic. It was a beacon, a prize, and a challenge, and Eli Ward was ready to meet it head-on. The adventure was only beginning. Eli Ward floated in the freighter's control room, staring at the holographic map projected before him. The glowing crystals hummed faintly behind him in the cargo hold, each one pulsing with knowledge and energy that no human, or alien, had ever seen before. The freighter had gone from forgotten junk to one of the most dangerous and valuable vessels in the galaxy, and Eli knew it.
"Looks like the universe is finally paying attention," he muttered, adjusting the controls.
The AI pulsed beside him, its blue light steady and deliberate. "Observation. Multiple factions are now aware of this vessel. Threat level, high. Probability of engagement, increasing." Ellie grinned. "High threat level? Perfect. I've always liked a challenge." Outside the freighter, distant fleets began to move. Alien ships of various sizes and shapes, some sleek and predatory, others massive and heavily armed, scanned the sector. Their sensors had picked up the freighter's energy signature, and now the game was on. Eli's small, seemingly worthless freighter had become a prize coveted by forces far stronger than him. He floated to the engineering bay, tapping controls and rerouting energy. Shields were reinforced, engines tuned to maximum output, and every defensive system the freighter possessed was activated. It was still old and fragile, but now it was smart too. The AI had begun learning from Eli's instincts, adapting the ship's systems in ways even he hadn't expected. "Ready for a little demonstration?" Eli asked. The AI hummed affirmatively. Recommended action, evasive maneuvers advised. Suggestion: human intuition is effective. Ellie laughed. "Intuition, huh? That's about all I've got." The first wave of alien ships arrived minutes later. They formed a loose perimeter around the freighter, weapons scanning, engines humming as they readied themselves for action. Eli took a deep breath. The freighter shuddered as he activated its thrusters, weaving through the asteroid field that surrounded the sector. "Humans are clever," the AI said, almost approvingly. "Observation. Unexpected tactics increase survival probability." Eli smirked. Clever is an understatement. He guided the freighter in a series of tight maneuvers, dodging incoming scans, using the asteroids for cover, and keeping the alien ships just out of range. The alien commanders were experienced, but they hadn't dealt with a human pilot like Eli before. One who relied on intuition, risk-taking, and the unpredictability that came with it. After a tense hour, Eli managed to shake the first wave of pursuers. They had underestimated him and the freighter's abilities, yet he knew this was only the beginning. News traveled fast across the galaxy, and now other factions would arrive. He returned to the cargo hold, checking the crystals. They hummed gently, as if responding to the freighter's movements. Eli touched one of them lightly, and a new projection appeared, a star map showing uncharted systems and energy nodes. He realized that whoever had created these crystals had been working on a technology capable of faster-than-light travel, energy harmonization, and possibly even weapon systems far advanced for the galaxy's current standards. "This is bigger than I thought," he whispered. "If I can understand this fully, humanity could leap centuries ahead." The AI pulsed beside him. "Assessment human potential with these materials is significant. Recommendation: caution and disclosure. Probability of exploitation by external forces, high." Eli nodded. "I know, but hiding this forever isn't my style. I'll find a way to protect it." As he spoke, sensors detected another fleet entering the system. This one was larger, heavily armed, and clearly intending to seize the freighter by force. Eli's eyes narrowed. These weren't scavengers or curious factions. They were military-grade forces, likely representing a coalition that had more resources than he could imagine. He turned to the AI. "Looks like it's time to step up, friend. You ready?" Analysis. Human piloting skills exceed expectations. Tactical response optimized. Probability of evasion, moderate. Eli chuckled. "Moderate's better than nothing." He maneuvered the freighter out of the asteroid field, engaging its defensive systems. Energy shields glowed, deflecting scanning beams and minor attacks. The freighter, though old, had something the alien fleets weren't expecting. Eli's ingenuity. He used unexpected tactics, decoys, and even holographic projections to confuse the enemy. Every move was calculated yet spontaneous. The AI adapted in real time, coordinating engines, shields, and countermeasures seamlessly with Eli's commands. Hours passed like minutes. Eli danced through the stars, narrowly avoiding ambushes and attacks, all the while cataloging the crystal's secrets. Each encounter revealed new tactics, new ways the freighter could defend itself, and new insights into the alien fleet's methods.
Eli felt a rush of satisfaction.
Humanity might not have the most advanced technology, but human ingenuity and adaptability could rival the galaxy's greatest powers. Finally, after a grueling chase, Eli managed to escape into a hidden nebula. The dense clouds of gas and dust rendered the freighter invisible to sensors, at least for now. He floated in the control room, breathing heavily, the AI's light pulsing steadily. "You did well," the AI said. "Observation: human adaptability is exceptional. Recommendation: continue development of defensive strategies." Eli smiled. "Thanks, friend. But we're just getting started." He returned to the cargo hold, where the crystals awaited. One in particular pulsed stronger than the others, emitting an almost rhythmic pattern. Eli examined it carefully, noticing subtle changes in its energy output. He realized that the crystals weren't just storage devices. They were interactive. They responded to energy patterns, to the freighter's systems, and even to human thought. "This isn't just a map or blueprints," he said.
"This is a system, a network. Whoever made these..."
They were creating something incredible, something that could change the galaxy. The AI pulsed thoughtfully. "Assessment: human comprehension of full system is incomplete. Suggestion: incremental study advised. Probability of understanding: moderate." Ellie nodded. "Moderate is fine. We'll get there." Over the next few days he experimented carefully, linking the crystals to the freighter's power grid. Slowly, the ship began to hum in harmony with the crystals. Lights dimmed and brightened in sync with the energy pulses. Systems became more efficient, engines more responsive, and shields more resilient. The freighter was awakening, evolving, under Eli's guidance. It was during this process that Eli realized something important. He didn't just have a powerful ship. He had a living legacy of intelligence, a technology that could not only enhance the freighter but could potentially give humanity an edge the galaxy had never seen. Suddenly, a warning blared. Multiple energy signatures appeared near the nebula's edge. Another fleet. This one larger, faster, and clearly more determined than the last. Eli's pulse quickened. They had tracked him here. "Looks like they really don't take hints," he muttered. The AI pulsed urgently. "Tactical assessment. Evasion alone may be insufficient. Recommendation: strategic engagement using environmental advantages." Eli's eyes narrowed. Time to show them what humans can do. He piloted the freighter deeper into the nebula, weaving through gas clouds, using gravitational anomalies to hide and redirect enemy sensors. With each maneuver, the freighter systems responded more efficiently, powered by the crystal's energy. Shields flared as minor attacks struck, engines roared as they dodged, and the AI calculated each move with precision. The alien ships underestimated Eli again. They relied on numbers and brute force, but Eli relied on cunning, improvisation, and experience. Every turn, every adjustment was human ingenuity at work. After hours of careful maneuvering and strategic counterattacks, the enemy fleet was forced to retreat, unable to match the freighter's unexpected speed and adaptability. Eli let out a long breath. "That's more like it," he said, wiping sweat from his brow. The AI pulsed slowly, almost approvingly. "Observation: human ingenuity exceeds predictions. Assessment: survival probability increased. Recommendation: continue training and research." Eli smiled. "Training. research, and a little luck. Don't forget that. He returned to the cargo hold, examining the crystals again. Each one hummed softly, responding to the freighter and to him. He realized that with time, patience, and careful study, he could unlock their full potential. And when he did, humanity would no longer be underestimated. The galaxy had noticed him now. Fleets, scouts, and opportunists would continue to search for the freighter. But Eli didn't feel fear. He felt excitement, purpose, and determination. The freighter was no longer a forgotten relic. It was a symbol of what humans could achieve with curiosity, courage, and clever thinking. He looked out at the nebula, stars twinkling in the distance. Somewhere, other civilizations were whispering about a human who had found a derelict freighter and unlocked its secrets. But they didn't understand. They hadn't faced him. They hadn't seen what humans could do when pushed to their limits. Eli smiled, touching one of the glowing crystals. Tomorrow, he whispered, we unlock even more. And the galaxy, well, the galaxy is about to learn that humans are full of surprises. For the first time in years, Eli felt completely alive. The freighter hummed in response, a living puzzle, a key to the future, and now, his greatest challenge. The adventure was far from over. In fact, it was only beginning. And Eli Ward was ready for whatever came next. Eli Ward floated in the freighter's control room, the glow of the crystals reflecting off the metal walls. The ship hummed with energy, alive in a way that no human or alien ship had ever been. After weeks of study, repair, and careful experimentation, Eli finally began to understand the freighter's true potential. This is it, he whispered to the AI, the whole package. The AI's pulse was steady. Observation. Human comprehension has increased significantly. Assessment. Potential for unprecedented technological advancement. Recommendation. Cautious activation of advanced systems. Eli nodded. Cautious is boring. Let's see what humans can do. He moved to the cargo hold where the crystals glowed brighter than ever. Each one pulsed with energy, and the holographic projections now displayed complex systems capable of harmonizing energy, powering ships, and even boosting faster-than-light travel. The freighter wasn't just a ship. It was a mobile laboratory, a research station, and a weapon of intelligence that could alter the galaxy's balance. But Eli knew it wasn't just about technology. He had to prove that humans could use it wisely, creatively, and bravely. Outside, multiple alien fleets had detected the freighter again. Word of the humans' exploits had spread like wildfire. Leaders across the galaxy debated whether to capture, negotiate, or destroy the freighter. They underestimated Eli and humanity's unique ability to think outside the rules. Eli activated the freighter's full systems, linking the crystals to the ship's engines, shields, and power grid. The freighter hummed with life, energy flowing through circuits in ways that made alien design seem primitive. The AI's voice pulsed with excitement, an almost human-like tone.
Energy harmonization at 93%, it said.
Systems efficiency, maximum. Defensive capabilities, optimal. Eli grinned. Not bad for a freighter everyone thought was scrap. Suddenly, a massive alien fleet emerged from hyperspace. Their ships were enormous, bristling with weapons and shields. They surrounded the freighter in a perfect formation, cutting off any escape. Eli's pulse quickened, but he didn't panic. He had something they didn't: human ingenuity, unpredictability, and the freighter itself. Looks like they want a piece of us, Eli muttered. The AI responded calmly. Observation. Enemy analysis suggests reliance on brute force. Strategy. Outthink rather than outgun.
Ellie nodded. Exactly.
Let's show them the difference. He activated the freighter's stealth protocols, masking the energy emissions and creating holographic decoys. The alien fleet's sensors scanned endlessly, but the freighter was a ghost among the stars. Eli navigated through a dense asteroid field, weaving in and out of massive rocks and gas clouds, each move calculated to confuse the enemy. Human tactics are unpredictable, the AI admitted. Probability of escape increasing. Eli smirked. Unpredictable is our specialty. But this wasn't just about escape. Eli wanted to make a statement. He carefully aligned the crystal's energy pulses with the freighter's engines and shields. The ship surged forward, faster and more efficient than any alien vessel could track. Energy fields rippled across the freighter, harmonizing with the crystals and amplifying every system. "Hold on," Eli said. "This is going to be fun." He used the freighter's new capabilities to create a series of energy barriers and projections, forcing the alien fleet to scatter. Ships collided, shields overloaded, and energy pulses disrupted their systems. None of the aliens expected the freighter to fight like this, or to think like its pilot. Hours passed in a blur of maneuvers, energy pulses, and carefully timed counterattacks. Eli wasn't just defending himself. He was showing the galaxy that humans could turn what seemed like weakness into strength. He wasn't the fastest, the strongest, or the most armed, but he was clever, resourceful, and fearless. Finally, the alien fleet retreated, unable to cope with the freighter's unique combination of technology and human ingenuity.
Eli let out a long breath, floating in the control room as the freighter system stabilized. "Not bad," he said quietly.
"We've got their attention, but we're still alive." The AI pulsed steadily. Observation. Human creativity exceeds expectations. Assessment. Survival probability optimal. Recommendation. Capitalize on technological advantage. Ellie nodded. Exactly. He returned to the cargo hold, focusing on the crystals. He had learned how to unlock their full potential. Energy amplification, advanced propulsion, and even self-defense mechanisms that could rival any fleet. The freighter was no longer a derelict relic. It was a living testament to what humans could accomplish when they refused to give up. As he activated one of the advanced systems, the freighter's engines roared. Lights pulsed in perfect synchronization with the crystals. Holographic maps expanded, showing coordinates to uncharted sectors, energy nodes, and resources beyond imagination. Eli realized that humanity now had access to technology that could leap centuries ahead of any alien civilization. This is incredible," he whispered. "We can do so much with this." The AI pulsed almost reverently.
Observation. Human potential confirmed.
Assessment. Capability to alter galactic balance. High. Eli smiled. Not just survive, thrive. That's the human way. Over the next days, he worked tirelessly. He repaired the freighter completely, optimized the energy systems, and created a navigation system capable of outmaneuvering even the most advanced fleets. Every improvement emphasized human ingenuity, creativity, and problem-solving. The AI began to show signs of loyalty, almost as if it respected Eli's persistence and cleverness. But Eli knew the galaxy wouldn't leave him alone for long. Reports of the freighter's abilities had spread like wildfire. Entire fleets, corporations, and factions wanted what he had discovered. Some wanted to negotiate, others to seize the freighter by force. Eli had to act decisively. He activated the freighter's communication system and sent a carefully coded message to nearby sectors, a declaration of human ingenuity and capability. He wasn't threatening anyone. He was proving a point. Humans were not to be underestimated. The galaxy listened. Slowly, whispers turned to chatter, chatter to acknowledgement, and acknowledgement to cautious respect. For the first time, humans were not just participants. They were a force to be reckoned with. Eli floated in the control room, staring out at the stars. The freighter hummed around him, alive and vibrant. It had been abandoned, forgotten, and dismissed. Now, it was a symbol of human courage, creativity, and perseverance. "Humanity isn't the strongest," Eli said quietly. "We're not the fastest or the biggest. But we are clever. We adapt. We never give up. And when we put our minds to something," he smiled, touching one of the glowing crystals, "we shine." Outside, distant fleets watched from afar, unsure how to respond. The freighter had survived every attack, outmaneuvered every fleet, and demonstrated technology that no one fully understood. Eli's actions had changed perceptions. Humans were no longer just a minor species. They were a spark in the galaxy. The AI pulsed, almost warmly. Observation, human determination and ingenuity are unparalleled. Assessment, humans capable of remarkable achievements. Recommendation, continue exploration and discovery. Eli nodded. And that's what we're going to do. He charted a course for uncharted sectors, regions of the galaxy humans had only dreamed of exploring. The freighter's engines roared, powered by crystal energy and human determination. Every system pulsed with life and potential, responding to Eli's commands with precision and creativity. As he guided the freighter through the stars, Eli realized something profound. It wasn't just the crystals or the ship's technology that mattered. It was humans themselves, their curiosity, courage, and ability to think in ways no one else could. That was their greatest strength. Somewhere, distant civilizations watched, whispering of a human who had discovered a derelict freighter and unlocked its secrets. They didn't know what Eli would do next, but they knew that humanity had arrived. Eli floated in the control room, the freighter alive around him, and whispered to the AI, "We've only just begun. The galaxy won't forget us, and neither will we." For the first time, he felt the full weight of what he had accomplished. Humanity had gone from overlooked, underestimated, and dismissed to a force capable of shaping the galaxy. The freighter had been forgotten, abandoned, and discarded, but humans had found it. And what humans found, they could transform. The adventure wasn't over. It had only just begun. And Eli Ward, with a derelict freighter brought back to life, shining crystals and human ingenuity at his side, was ready for whatever the galaxy could throw at him. He had proven one thing. Humans were clever, resilient, and unstoppable when they refused to give up. And the galaxy would never look at humanity the same way again.